I somewhat knew where he lived, kind of. And now that I have a daughter, I always look at her and always say things like, I cannot be like this man ever. I know who my dad is. I know my dad's name. But now that I have my own kids, I always look at them and say, I cannot be the same. I have to be there for my kids. And this gets super emotional with me when it comes to me not having a father figure in my life. Today's topic, I wanted to talk about something that I usually don't talk about, I don't bring up, I don't even think much about, but I think it's an important topic just off the simple fact as a man that grew up without his father. When growing up without my father, just knowing him and him not being there, that's two different things. And as a kid, you really sit there and you see all these other kids with their parents or their dad, and you start to actually sit there and wonder, something's missing, but you just don't know what, and you just don't understand it yet. And I just look at both of my daughter's faces, and I just look at them and I just say, I can't be nothing like this man and leave them. And I see all of these people I watch on TV shows or YouTube, and they kind of like just put their business out there, but you know these men giving up on their kids and not being there for their kids and stepping away or just not taking care of the responsibility of having their kids. And I just sit there, I was like, I can never see myself as that person, just based off the simple fact that they're so innocent, and they teach you things as you get older, such as patience, and even when you're tired, and when you got to hold them when they're little babies, and how it softens your heart and it melts your heart to the simple fact where they get older, you see them start to crawl, and you're wondering like, oh, they're crawling, and then they start to walk, and then after they start to walk, then they get to talking, and then they get to talking, and you just want them to be quiet. But um nah, but it's an amazing thing just being able to watch the little you just grow. And sometimes I wonder why my father never really wanted to be able to do that. I remember days when my mom, I would run into my uncle and his wife, and he would randomly give me his number, like, oh, here's your dad's number. But I would always ask for it because I always wanted to talk to him. And when I would talk to him, my mom would go call him, and then I would go over there sometimes. He would give me money. And I used to think, like, yeah, I'm getting this $100, but in the back of my mind, I'm kind of like, I do want to spend time with you. I want to get to know what's on this side of the family, what's going on over here. I want to know who I'm related to, where we come from. Just, I just have well, I had, but I still have those million and one questions. I just want to pick his brain just so I could know why he wasn't there. But then it dawned on me, and I actually thought this to myself. My dad was an actual alcoholic, and he had his issues where my mom told my mom told me basically he used to get drunk before and stumble all over the place and just be out of his mind, and spend all his money on that. And then I started to understand somewhat of his issue and why he wasn't there. And these things are kind of crazy to me because it's when I